Hi, I'm Tellie from Hooks and Hammocks. Today is processing day. We are going to be making jalapeno pepper jelly. And yes, it will be green when we are done. So, just a few things. We'll be using jalapenos that we grew from the garden. I always use gloves and it will take your breath away as we make it because it does tend to be strong. So it will clear your sinuses. Be using sugar, apple cider vinegar, jalapenos. I use 12, de-seed 11, use a whole one for the 12th one. I use 1 banana pepper, does not have to be de-seeded, it's up to you, just helps with the regular pepper flavor. And then 1 medium bell pepper, kind of cut up. I don't use the seeds from it. So I have already pre-cut the peppers. I'm gonna put them in like a little mini chopper. You want them kind of minced. So it's gonna be loud for a minute. Like a handful at a time. Like I said, I use gloves because I have a tendency to rub my eyes, what have you, throughout the day. So jalapeno juice and eyes do not mix. And you'll continue until you get through all of them. Kind of want it a little minced consistency. I'll probably do another turn with it. I like mine a little bit smaller. About there. Kind of want them itty bitty. You'll put that in the saucepan that you'll use. Let's bring it over here. You can do this until all of your jalapenos and all your peppers are well chopped. Place them in your saucepan. If I sniff, I apologize. It's the peppers, but it's amazing when it's done. It takes about 24 hours. Okay, this is the last of our pepper mix. We're gonna use some of the apple cider vinegar. You'll use 2 cups in total. I always add that to kind of clean out the little chopper. And you'll add that to your saucepan. Then you can remove your gloves at this point because you won't be touching the peppers any longer. I will add the rest of my apple cider vinegar to the pan. Then you will also be adding 6 cups of sugar. It is a lot of sugar, but it's jelly. So white granulated sugar is what I use. Just add that to your apple cider and pepper mixture in your saucepan. All right, that's your 6 cups of sugar. Then you will take that over to the stove. You will turn it on medium heat and you will Stir consistently until all the sugar is dissolved and you're boiling to a rolling boiling about a few minutes. And then once that's done, and then you want to keep stirring until the boiling can't be stirred down, then you remove it saucepan from the heat, and then you're going to add your liquid pectin. Use 2 pouches. I use the ball one. I like the liquid. You can use powder. I have used the powder. The liquid mixes easier. Okay, we have our mixture on the stove on medium heat. Right now, this is where we added our sugar and our peppers and our apple cider vinegar. You're going to consistently stir until it becomes to a boil and all your sugar is dissolved. Once that comes to a boil, then we can remove it from heat and add your liquid pectin. And we will be back with you to show you what the result is. Okay, so all of our sugar has dissolved, and this is the point where I will add food coloring. Because if not, if you'll take a look, this will actually be clear with green chunks. So I like my jelly green. Some people leave it clear, it can be orange, it could be red, whatever. But I use about 4 drops of green food coloring. It is food coloring, so it will stain, so be careful. Which gives it that green color. Now your jelly will be slightly green. Alright, now we will wait until it comes to a boil. Then we will be adding our fruit pectin. And I will see you when we're ready to do that. Okay, we are boiling. And it really can't be stirred down, so this is at the point where we will be adding liquid pectin. Just a little friendly tip, because I've done it before. When adding your liquid pectin or even the powdered pectin, you want to make sure that you remove it from the heat. You're at a roiling boil now when adding it. If not, it's going to be like a volcano. And remember, this was liquid sugar now. So it is extremely sticky and extremely hot. So remove it from your heat when adding your liquid pectin. Do it 1 pouch at a time and stirring consistently. And do it slowly. Remember, we are adding 2 pouches. And while our mixture is coming to a boil, I will be doing the water bath method with the mason jars. So I had them soaking in hot water because you want to add this to hot jars. If not, then you run the risk of cracking those jars. I use both pouches, just kind of squeeze it and stir it a little bit. Then you're going to return it back to the heat. And you're going to let it boil for 1 minute. Now she's nice and pretty. Now this jelly is not hot. It is very sweet, just like any normal jelly, but it does have a kick at the end. If you want it a little bit spicier, only de-seed about half the jalapenos. I de-seeded all but 1. Okay, so we have added our liquid pectin, and it has now come to a boil. You will let it boil for 1 minute. So we'll set our timer. You want to watch it very closely because it can boil up. And if it does happen, just kind of remove it from the heat for a second. And what it's doing is getting your solution, your jelly, and what have you, mixed all together. That way it will set. You will have a film on the top when you are done. You just kind of skim that off. And then we'll be ladling our liquid into jars. And then I always use the water bath method. You can use a canner pressure cooker, which I do not have. I prefer the water bath method. There are ways to do that on the side of the ball jar packaging or online. Okay, we have boiled for 1 minute. I let it go for a few seconds longer and then I will pull it off the heat. Because you want to make sure it's going to set. It will take your breath away. You do have a film, which is normal. And all I do is skim it off the top of there. Into a container. It doesn't matter what kind of container. I always just skim it off. It will be very, very sticky. Remember, if you are directly over the pan, it is very strong and it can take your breath away. So then I will grab my warm jars. And I generally always use a pot holder. Because the liquid is hot. Just take a ladle. And this mixture will make, let's see, 4 8-ounce jelly jars or 8 to 10 4-ounce jelly jars. You can either hold the jars or place them on a towel. It does get messy. You want to leave about a 1/4 inch headspace. That way, when you use the water bath method or any kind of pressure canner, it gives you enough room for sealing. And then that's what it looks like. This is liquid form still, so it'll take about a half hour to process them all. I have 10 jars, 10 4-ounce jars to fill, so we'll be back with you when we are finished. Okay, so we have all of our jars filled with our jalapeno jelly. Like I said earlier, I like using the water bath method. I don't have a canner pressure cooker. So what you do is, for the water bath, you can also look it up. There are videos for water bath. I'm not great at it, but so what you do is, I always take, if you want to look, my jars and put them in a stock pot. I have an old one. This is the only one I use for canning. You want to make sure that your jars are submerged with about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of water over the top. You want to make sure that once you take them out, you can't push that middle down. Your jar should be tight enough where no water leaks in. So this one's pretty done. You can't depress the center button. Once the jars cool, they will seal themselves. And then once the jelly has set, it takes about 24 hours for it to set. And then we will be back in 24 hours once it is set, so you can see the finished product. So we'll see you then. We are back. It's been 24 hours. I'm going to show you what the jelly should look like. They are all set. Every once in a while I'll have at least one jar that the button doesn't seal completely. When that happens, and that's the first jar that we use, I go ahead and put it in the refrigerator and it's good. It generally doesn't last for the week, but once it's open after about a week, I would get rid of it. But I will show you what it will look like. So inside, you can tell it's jelly. And it smells amazing. So it will come out looking just like that. A whole lot of goodness. It smells really like it would be really hot, but it's not. Remember, it's jelly. We like to eat it on crackers with cream cheese. I like it on a bagel with cream cheese or without. Well, that's all I have. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.